conmigo Hideo Nakata. Muy bien, Hideo trae su cuerpo de ninjas todo el tiempo importados desde Japón. You see, you're escort, personal escort. Muy bien, desaparezcan los ninjas. Welcome Hideo to Mórbido. It's a great honor for us to have you here. I'm going to tell the audience a little story about how you are right now in Mexico. I met Hideo this year in January, and we were in Gerardmer, in a small town in France, covered with snow. And Hideo does not speak French, and I don't speak French. So French people didn't speak to us, both of the time. So we were at the non-French speaking table all the time, and we get to know each other because we ate together for 2 or 3 days. I wanted to see his movie, The Complex, at Gerardmer, and I couldn't because it was spoken in Japanese with French subtitles. And everyone took me out. It was at the opening night, and people took me out because I wouldn't understand. Hideo proved that to be a wrong attitude because later in that festival we went together to see a Colombian movie. It wasn't a good one. So I'm not going to say the name of the Colombian movie, don't worry. And the Colombian movie was spoken in Spanish with French subtitles. So Hideo was sitting next to me, and he didn't understand anything of what they were speaking, but he was watching the movie. At the end, it wasn't a good movie. On the internet, you can find out which movie it was, but we're not telling. It was even such a bad movie that when it ended, Hideo jumped from his seat and ran away. And left a scarf there in the theater that later on I gave him back to him. I invited him to come to Mórbido, and he asked me if I had seen the movie. And I said, no, I haven't. But my festival is not the festivals of the movies I like. It's a festival of the movies that are made.
Bravo,
and
bravo.
for people like Hideo.
Yay!
Then
Es
he
una buena
used
actitud.
that information with Michael Bartlett and make a joke about it. When Michael came and said, oh, Pablo loved my movie, he invited me to Mórbido. And you say, Pablo invites movies even though he doesn't like them. And Michael was very sad. But I did like your movie, Michael, wherever you are. This movie, The Complex, is the last movie from Hideo that has streamed. He has another movie on the way, and much more to give audiences all around the world that love his job. We're going to have a brief Q&A with the help of Royce. Royce no está? Okay. We're going to have a Q&A at the end of the film, but right now we would like to give Hideo, come on. Don't be afraid, don't be afraid.
No, si aparece 10 metros adelante, yo sí me hago del baño.
Okay, so now we get to see The Complex by Hideo Nakata, and we'll see you afterwards. Thank you very much. Mórbido 2020.
Ah, sí, son. Mira. Carnal, a la norte. A tu izquierda, güey, atrás.
Are stubborn or vengeful, because in your movies that's a constant. All these ghosts have like these intentions.
Capriccio. Like capriccio. Yes, I think, well, in Asian or Japanese ghosts, we think we can coexist with the ghosts because they used to be humans. So there are some good ghosts and bad ghosts, and we can understand why some ghosts become evil because of the curse they have. So they are very humane in a way. So am I answering to your question?
¿Sí? ¿Respondido? Ok. Segunda pregunta. A ver, veo una mano por allá y vi dos manos por acá. Entonces, a ver, el niño cubierto de microbios que tiene la gorrita ahí.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
¿Dónde quién está hablando?
Yo, Sergio.
Hola, Sergio.
Hola, Pablo. Y felicidades por la película al maestro Hideo Nakata. Por simple curiosidad, ¿cómo es, cuál sería la diferencia entre hacer una película en la industria de Japón este año y la diferencia que hubo cuando hizo El Aro en el 98? Esa sería mi pregunta.
Las dos en Japón.
Sí, claro. O sea, ¿cuál es la diferencia entre la industria japonesa en el 98 y este año?
What are the differences that we can see in the Japanese horror film industry between when you made Ringu and today?
Oh. That's a good question. Well, I think our film industry, our Japanese film industry became a little bit Americanized. I mean, Hollywood-wise, in a way, but the cost or the budget of each film has become smaller and smaller. Maybe TV, key channels of TV, TV stations are more dominant, or they are the main financiers of feature films, not this one. So those are the things I can see the difference. But as long as filmmakers are determined to make interesting entertaining horror, I think it really doesn't matter. But it's not a good arrangement.
Muy bien. Quedan dos preguntas. El niño de los microbios quería preguntar algo.
Sí.
No, el niño de los microbios es el otro, pero bueno, tú también estás cubierto, ¿no?
Gracias. Gracias, Pablo. What's your percent or it has a meaning? The water loop in this evil spirit appears mainly at the end, and the change of colors of this water loop, does it represent something? Aesthetic in the lights that you use and everything.
So the echoes of the score is very. It's hard to
understand. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah.
Slower.
Yes, sorry. The water look mainly at the end of the movie when this evil spirit appears. Does it has a meaning or represent something? Also, the change of colors in between the main characters.
A ver si...
Pablo.
Sin el micro.
Sin el micro. Does it represent something? The change of the aesthetics into an aquatic, kind of aquatic look, where in between the main characters at the end of the movie when the evil spirit appears and made me the climax of the story.
Mejor en español.
Bueno, lluvia favorita.
What's the meaning?
Well, it's actually a good question. Well, at first, it's kind of coincidental. I quoted or I asked my DP and lighting director, to see my replica. I drew a replica of Edvard Munch's Scream a few years ago in Oslo, and as you remember, there's a wavy sky in that painting, and so I just wanted to introduce something from that Scream painting. And so the writing director thought it might be interesting to use that, he put the water tank on top of the sets and reflected, the water reflected the lights. Water, in my mind, is very kind of useful to express the anxiety, or it flows and it doesn't stay. So it's kind of a symbol to the unsteadiness. So it's kind of an challenge for us to use that kind of a little bit old-fashioned way of lighting or in usage of colors, but we need to do something because it's so confined. The climax of the movie is just in that apartment room, so that's why.
Muy bien, última pregunta. Aquí, el de los lentes sin pelo y con barbas. Despacio, aléjate el micrófono un poco de la boca para que podamos escucharlo.
Hideo, I wanted to know why did you start making horror films? Because you don't look like the kind of person that likes to stir.
No, es que acá arriba no se escucha. A ver otra vez.
Why did you start to make horror films instead of other kind of movies? Because you look really shy. You don't look like the kind of person that likes to scare people.
Okay. Why did you start doing horror?
Actually, maybe, I don't want to disappoint some of you, but I've never been a horror movie fan. I'm not a horror movie fan at all. I'm very apprehensive and very secure person. And usually, I don't watch horror movies, but when I make horror movies, I do my best. That's my job. It's purely coincidental that I started horror movies. Well, 20 years ago, when I made a directorial debut on TV, someone gave me an offer to direct a mini TV series, which happened to be a horror, and I did my best, and so on. So. I don't know. Well, I'm sorry if I disappointed you.
No, claro que no nos desilusionó. Un fuerte aplauso para Hideo Nakata.